Hey guys, welcome back. Oh yeah. I gotta show you guys something. Come with me. You see him? Yes. There's Titus. He has been waiting for cheese this entire time. Because I happen to have cheese with me. So, we have a co-host this evening, a special guest, if you will. Titus Livingston DePriest, also known as Tiny, also known as hashtag Ewok Baby. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Simply Blondie is here. And we've also got, of course, Tiny. And we're going to talk about some She-Hulk episode 5, I think we're at. And House of the Dragon episode 4. As soon as I'm done with the stream, I'm going to watch episode 5 because it looks like it's going to be epic. So, of course, we're going to touch on some nerdy news, which I'm pretty stoked about. And, as usual, this episode sponsored the house by HerbalHenna.com for all your hygiene, skin-sensitive needs. You like organic soaps and oils, and if you just like to go as natural as possible with your hygiene needs like I do, then Herbal Henna is the way to go. So, HerbalHenna.com. Tell them that Comics and Cosmetics sent you. Maybe we can get you guys a promo code, huh? That'd be pretty cool. All right, let's get our guest on and get this stuff started. What is up, Lena?
Hello, how are you?
I am good. You just had a birthday yesterday, so
Yes, I did.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're what, 23?
No, I was telling everyone I was like 21 the entire time, but I'm actually 33.
Well, you look really, really awesome for 33. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. What'd you get for your birthday? Great skin.
Great skin.
Duh. Oh my gosh, I'm on one tonight. I just Okay, so we are talking about She-Hulk and House of the Dragon. Again, just to remind everyone, I want to say hi to the chat real quick. It's going to be easy because, hi, Kathy. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us yet again on one of your Sunday evenings. It really means a lot to me. You're kind of awesome, Kathy. So thank you very much. In fact, can we please get a round of applause for Kathy? There we go. You deserve that. Okay. So, before we get started, make sure you smash that like button. If you're new, I'm your host, Danny Sonsasi, licensed cosmetologist and registered super nerd. She's my co-host, Lena, aka Simply Blondie, and you can follow her on her YouTube channel right there. You can also follow her on the Twitter box right there.
Yep.
But you could probably just find her anywhere if you just type in Simply Blondie. I'm sure she will come up.
Yep.
She's got some. She's kind of our pop culture nerd, our resident pop culture nerd. She's part of our Cult of Nerd panel, as we like to call our little trio. You, me, and CJ.
Yep.
She's also my work wife. So.
Indeed.
Yes, work wife. You got anything going on you want to tell anyone about?
I have, which was we were just talking about this too. I was supposed to live stream last week, but last week was my birthday week. Saturday was my birthday. I'm going to be going live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard. That is going to be 7 Eastern Standard Time. I have a lot of video projects I'm going to be working on. I just had one hit me like this morning, which I got to talk to you about that one after this one.
Ooh.
So, but no, nothing else.
I thought about possibly, taking like a week off or so, but I get so bored and I drive my family nuts. Although I do believe they have it coming. I mean, you saw what was going on here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going on in 5 minutes, but the whole house has to come in here. In fact, he's still there.
He's like, I demand cheese.
There you go.
All right, cheese.
Yeah, he's been getting cheese this whole time.
TC's not like that. TC don't like. Oh, he tries to get cheese, but I'm just like, no, dude, you can't have cheese. Gonna have poopies, and then I'm just gonna have to sit there and clean your butt because it gets stuck in his fur. Yeah, I know.
Normally, he comes in like at the end of the stream. He'll go by the door and like look at me like, "You still in here?" Just checking, and then he takes off. Normally, he is pretty much sewed to Dave's beehole.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sitting there staring at me. And this is the most time he has spent with me in probably 6 to 8 months. I'm not kidding.
Aww.
This is insane. And all because I have Gruyere and Gouda. Like, you are one bougie ass dog. You know that? He's bougie. He knows it. He only eats the finest, freshly steamed chicken breast with fresh carrots, turnip greens, peas, and rice. And his treats I even make by thinly slicing chicken breasts and dehydrating them with sea salt.
Aww.
And now he's eating Gruyere. And Kathy, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you very much for being such a big support of the channel. We love you. All right, I guess we should talk some She-Hulk. So episode 5, right?
Yes.
Episode 5. Okay, so episode 5 is probably, it has some of my favorite parts. It wasn't my favorite episode, but it has some of my favorite parts. What are some of your favorites?
To be honest, like, I felt like this was like almost like it was a filler episode, to be honest. Yes, that's what it felt like the entire time. There was some funny moments, but then there was others that was just kind of like, I get what you're trying to do. And I just love the fact that they were trying to get to like the extraordinaire like hero costumer, the seamster, the whole time. And the entire time I was like on TikTok and I was seeing everyone calling it just basically like the male version of Enda Mode from Incredibles. Because just the way he was acting. But the only thing I actually liked was the ending, which the small little Easter egg they had at the very end.
I've got something for that.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
I left it on my phone though, so that's great. Good job. Yeah, let me pull one thing up. I did enjoy there's this one character, and I might have sent it to you, I don't remember. But there's this one character that I have found myself like, I just love this character so much. Like, yes, can I have more? And this episode really made this shine, and my computer's gonna fight with me because this computer knows when we're live, and it just it enjoys it. Anyway, Pug. I love Pug. I think he is so hot now. I am just in love with Pug. Him and Nikki are like the dynamic duo of the show. This whole scene cracked me up. When he's like, I need a favor. She's like, well, my rates plus interest. He's like, cool. And says that he wants her to go with him to stand in line for the Iron Man 3s. She's like, why do you need 2 pairs? He's like, one to rock, one to stock, baby. I'm like, yes. And she's like, so you collect a lot of shoes just to stare at them. And he says, yeah. And she's like, I respect that. Like, same. Like, I get that. I totally understand that behavior. Oh, I am so sorry. Here you go. Here you go. There you go. Ewok baby needed cheese. So that was one of my favorites. And he keeps telling her that he's got this. Don't know. I have no answers for you as to what that was. I'm hoping it wasn't a body. So, uh, he keeps talking about his drip broker.
Yes,
and I was just dying because all I kept thinking about was, the broker from Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, oh, the power broker. It's the power broker. And now we've got a drip broker. It just cracked me up for some reason. And they end up going in that boba tea store, and she tells them that they're not cops in Chinese. He's like, not Chinese. She's like, oh my God. But why does Nikki know we are not cops in Chinese?
I don't know.
What was her life like before this show?
To be honest, like I love Nikki and her personality. Like it's up there with with Wong. This whole time, with Wong coming in being nicknamed Wongers, which I would agree with you. I actually still agree with you from last Sunday. Of Strange just coming in, it's like, so your new nickname is Wongers, like, but God, I would love more of like an episode of like a backstory to her and everything.
Yes, I just want a show with Madison Wong, Nikki, and Puck. And they're like, I don't know, trying to live. It's like Real World, but with Wong and Madison and Nikki and Puck.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
I'm going to record that. Because that's what I get for needing a snack while I'm on a live stream. Eating my own hair. I deserved that. I deserved it.
Oh, no, but with the end credits, talking about the end credits, you know how like all the end credits is always like hand drawn?
Yes. Okay.
Did you notice
what I'm working on?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. This is what I'm working on because I do have a picture that breaks that all down, but I've been having a little trouble with my Apple Drive. No, it's not there. So we're going to have to do this like old school. Hold on one second. I'm going to try. Oh, wait. No, come back. I can just do it this way. It's just, I have to be careful not to knock my phone off. Oh, that'll happen. All right. Oh, got it. Okay. Just waiting for it to pop up here. Yes. Yes. Okay. Awesome. Can't make it bigger.
That's cool.
All right. So in this, I wish there was a way I could just wait. I think there is.
If you do share screen.
I can't from my phone.
Oh, never mind then.
Okay. So we've got, I know there's Hawkeye at the very top.
Yeah.
And then, you've got Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Moon Knight, Iron Man, obviously, and America Chavez. But we also have Storm.
Yep.
Cyclops, Deadpool, and Wolverine.
There's also Thing in there as well.
That's right.
Fantastic Four.
I knew I was missing one. Yeah. So they've basically, now they used Miss Marvel to confirm that mutants are in fact in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're using this after credit scene pictured here in She-Hulk to confirm that, or it's not really after credit scene, but more like the end credits to confirm that the X-Men are already there. So people were wondering how they were going to do this in the MCU. Like, oh no, mutants are just now here. We're just learning about them and the X-Men form after that. Or have they been there the whole time? But they were just kind of hiding.
I feel like this is just my hunch that it could be after the snap.
Mm-hmm.
That I feel like they basically something inside them woke up or something, like a genetic mutation just woke up after everybody got snapped. Because I mean, with obviously we're gonna talk about like Black Panthers being in this photo, like we don't know how they're gonna write it off for Chadwick's character to be gone or how he died. because it could be a possibility that Black Panther got sick, T'Challa got sick and died from the snap, where like the mutation, he couldn't handle it, so he just basically died. But then there's other people that could handle it, and basically they mutated from that point on. Well, that's my hunch.
One of my thoughts, you can clearly see where I got this post. Someone else took the time to circle all this stuff for me. I was going to do it, but I have so much to do, and I came across this on Instagram. I said, hey, look at that. Screen cap it. But I made sure to keep the whole thing so you can clearly see that's their Instagram account. If you would like more stuff like this, go follow them. But your ass better stay subscribed to me and be here every Saturday.
Yep.
Just Sunday.
Sunday, what the hell?
Anyway, I have thought this entire time, because they did take aspects from this storyline I'm going to mention. They actually did, and they've said that they did. But I've been wondering if they are doing either a modified House of M, or are they doing like a reverse House of M? And House of M, it's after the children get reabsorbed back into Mephisto.
Yeah.
And she loses her mind because she remembers these kids, and they were real to her. They were real. But everyone keeps telling her, no, you never had children. They were not real. They were parts of Mephisto, etc. So she starts going crazy and losing control of her powers. She starts like rewriting reality just on instinct. Like, she's not even thinking about it, and she's rewriting reality. And Xavier has her kind of sequestered away, trying to help her. And he's like, you stop that, put reality back. And she messes it up to the point where she creates the House of M. It's this whole world where mutants were the dominant species, and her family, Magneto's family, were the ones in charge, the House of Magnus. So House of M for Magnus, House of M for mutants. So Genosha was like the superpower of the world, and Magneto basically ruled everything. Well, when it comes out what she had done this, and her father kills her brother because everyone was wanting to kill her, and it was a freaking mess. And finally, she breaks down, and she's like, this is all your fault. It's all your fault. And further than that, you are the way you are because you're a mutant. Well, how about this? No more mutants. And she rewrites reality to where there's only 198 mutants left. That's it. And she changes everyone's relationships and everything. But then, she has help from her kids, or their kids, and the Young Avengers, and she brings it all back, and even brings back the Avengers that she had killed. So I've been wondering if either A, we are moving into House of M, and that's what's happening. That's how Multiverse of Madness is like the start of her mental decline, to where she starts just fucking with everything. Or, and here's the more interesting side of this coin. What if the entire MCU, as we have known it since 2008, has been in the House of M the entire time? We have been in the House of M, and that's why there have not been any mutants in the MCU yet. And then when we finally get these mutants in, it's because Wanda was like, okay, I'll be sane again. Everything go back to the way it should be. And now we have mutants. I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's what they're kind of
going with.
I think it makes sense.
It does. It makes really good sense, to be honest, if you think about it, because I have things about the MCU that I'm just kind of like, the whole thing with Mephisto, for instance. Like, I always joke around with some of my friends. I said, What if Mephisto has just been there the entire time, disguised as somebody that we recognized and loved, and then it's just like, oh shit, you were Mephisto this whole time. Like, how could you? It's like, well, I was just here to mess around. Make sure that everything was going in line or whatever.
Hold on, I got Kathy. She's like, speaking of magnets, my freezer and fridge doors are completely much covered with assorted magnets. So, shall we call you Magneto?
Magneto.
The keeper of the magnets, Kathy, the magneted one. I did, when WandaVision came out, everyone was like, oh my God, it's Mephisto. We're getting Mephisto. Because Mephisto he's intricate to that story. He is integral. He is woven into that story. You can't really separate the two.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all like, it's Mephisto, it's Mephisto, it's Mephisto. And then it was almost like Marvel and Big Papa Feige were trolling us. And they were like, no, it was Agatha all along.
That's the same thing they said about Loki. He's like, oh, Mephisto's in this one. He's in this one. It's just like, he's not in that one.
Glass window.
Exactly, the glass window. Then it was what Captain America. They said he was in that one. Then it said it was in Hawkeye and what's it called? Moon Knight and everything. I'm just like, if you guys keep saying this out loud, you're not gonna get it. But like, just wait until like you guys don't say it, and then Kevin's gonna be like, all right, let's just throw him in now. No one's mentioned him in a while. That's what I'm waiting for. Just like everyone just, and then it's just like,
this whole time we've all been like, they're fucking with us with this Mephisto thing. You know, everyone's afraid to make any kind of speculation now because it's going to turn out to be another red herring or Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened in this episode or the episode before?
Oh, the demons.
Madison.
Oh, yeah, Madison.
Just like I was, this magician, she sent me to a different dimension, and I made a deal with a goat named Jake to help me escape from a lava pit for 6 drops in my blood. Who makes deals frequently associated with the goat in a fiery pit? Mephisto. So I think Jake is Mephisto. Who is David Lightbringer?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Make sure to hit like and subscribe.
I was like trying to read it again. I was just like, I don't know.
Okay. Apparently he's going around to YouTube channels today and just telling everyone that this person is that. So
I'm curious.
Cool. Cool. I think they're going to finally bring in Mephisto, and they kind of have to. I mean, they've mentioned Chthon. She basically brought his house down all around her. He did write the Darkhold.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Mephisto is coming, and I don't know. I'm going to end up being like poor Eric Voss from New Rockstars and be like, okay, this is it. This is Mephisto. Jake the goat is Mephisto. And then a year from now, everyone's going to be laughing at me.
I had to look up real quick about the name that this guy dropped in. Apparently he's a YouTuber. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
So I just had to check. I was like, I don't know. But
I know that person. But
oh god, no. I mean, the whole court scene with Jennifer bringing in all the people that she like had tender dates with. I was just like, you know what? That takes a lot for someone to bring in somebody that, you had a date with as She-Hulk to testify for you. And then for like the attorney that was representing her asked them, like, would you date her if she wasn't She-Hulk? And it's like, well, she's not my type. And it was just kind of like, damn.
Hurtful. That just sucks.
It does.
I mean, I won her case, but
Because I mean, like, she made a point in I think the last episode 4, she's like, it's hard to date in your 30s. And I'm just like, yeah, it is.
It's like going yard sailing in your own neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it, especially in a small area like where I live, it's basically because in your 30s, people have already been married.
Yeah.
They've already had serious relationships. They probably have kids.
Yep.
So you're basically going to a yard sale and buying something someone's trying to get rid of.
Yeah. But it's just kind of like I get it. She put her whole career before anything else. And then like now she wants to start getting into relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, I can understand. Like, shit, like I said, I'm 33 and I had a lot of serious relationships in my 20s, but like by the time I got to my 30s, I was just like, I'm just gonna take a break from relationships for a little bit. Now it's just kind of like, yeah, like you said, either have been married, they got divorced, they have kids, and like I remember growing up saying I would never date someone with kids. Now it's just like I don't care.
Dear God, I just want to get laid. Dave and I got together when I was 37, and it had been.
Yeah.
I lucked out though. Dave and I have known each other
for years.
Since 7th grade. This is someone I had a crush on secretly, all through high school and stuff. But at that point, you're like, are you on drugs? Do you have a job? Do you have a car? All right, let's go. Let's
go. Get in the car.
Let's go.
No, for me, it's just like I said, I'm 33. I'm like, I'm demisexual. I mean, like, I'm not, I don't need sex to like thrive or anything like that, which, but it's just like going back to Jennifer. It's just like, I understand she put her whole career, like kind of like serving the people before serving herself.
And that's like being a mom.
Yeah. And I mean, like now, going to the whole court scene of her having to get her name, that one, she didn't like the name at first, but then all of a sudden she's just like, you know what? I like it. It suits me. And now she's like embracing it. Where you start seeing that a little bit more in this season, this episode, where she starts trying to embrace it more and trying to get that name back away from Titania. And oh God, to be honest, I actually love her so much, Titania.
Thank you.
God, she is just, and that's how the actress, that's not how she is. She's like she's a feminist and everything, and I love her.
Yeah,
but every role that
did the whole character as a caricature of beauty influencers like Kim Kardashian. I can't even say her name because
the thing that's like every character she's played
she already has.
That's like the type of character she's played, because if you watch A Good Place, she plays someone that's an influencer that's all about beauty and everything.
That show. And I'll pull her up while we're talking about her.
But no, just the way she is, and like that's why I was like going back to what I was like saying, like going back to like my theory a little bit. Like I just feel like it just like when the snap happened, it's just like something inside everyone just kind of like unlocked, and like the mutation just started. I mean, I can also just believe they just were in hiding in plain sight, but there is like the whole fear, kind of like the whole segregation thing, where you're scared to show like who you are and embrace yourself. Now with everything that's like coming out of, because I mean this season alone, this episode, I mean the next couple episodes, I know they're supposed to be having like a meeting with a bunch of other mutants.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, that's where I'm just thinking, like, have you guys just been, like you said, have they been here this entire time and they just never made themselves like prominent? Because I mean, Titania, like from what they were describing her, is just she's just like a mutant with minor powers, and that's about it.
Well, in the comics, Dr. Doom used some of She-Hulk's blood, Jennifer Walters' blood, to make Titania super strong and stuff. So that was one of my theories. Hold on, I gotta put on my Kevin Feige hat. I mean, it's not Marvel, but it's the only ball cap I really have in here. So
wait, going back to D23 when he was doing the Marvel thing, or on Sunday, one of the two, he was wearing a little She-Hulk hat.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that is so cute. I hope they have it there. They're probably gonna release it soon.
This dog is insatiable. Okay. So I've got my I'm a big time producer hat on. Let's see. So I've started uploading some of my predictions and theories, and they've been getting disliked, and I guess because they dislike what my prediction is, like what the prediction is, as opposed to, dude, I didn't write it. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just saying all signs are kind of pointing to this is what the MCU is going to do. And I'm getting all of this not only from what I'm watching happen, but from the comic books that I have read. They draw inspiration from those books. They do change things because it isn't an adaptation, it's an inspiration. It's not a direct copy. So that's just what I see, man. That's just what I see. So I did a couple today, and here is the one I did in regards to She-Hulk today. If I can get it to, I don't know, can you hear that? How about now?
A little bit.
Okay, screw it. All right. What I'm trying to say here is that in the first, I think it was the first or second episode of She-Hulk, when she gets jumped by that group of guys that robbed the Asgardian construction worker, and the one tries to stick her in the arm with a needle and bends. Like, Titus, I'm doing a thing, man.
I think that was episode 2.
Yeah, I think it was episode 2. So in the van, everyone has their masks off except for the one guy.
Yeah.
One guy's like, ooh, the boss is going to be mad. Well, when she went on the date with Todd, he's got a very distinctive voice. So I right away was like, that sounds like what's his face? That sounds like the guy with the mask on. Like, why were they hiding his face and no one else's?
True.
Inquiring minds. So while they're on the date, he's like, can your skin be pierced by vibranium? Like, what a creepy ass question.
That is true.
Why would you ask that? Unless you're trying to stick something in her that's not your special purpose. And then she runs into him at her work, like, oh shit. Like, how many times has that happened to you? You go on this date and it's like it was the worst date ever. You're mildly creeped out by this person. And then you have to like deal with them in a public place again. And you're like, oh, hi. Oh,
hi, how are you?
I gotta be nice to you or I'll lose my job.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, no.
But she sees him and turns out he's like this super rich guy and like he's drinking $300 water. Question. How the fuck is any water $300? This planet is literally covered in it.
Yeah.
That makes zero sense to me. It literally falls out of the sky. How is water $300? Anyway.
Well, I mean, remember, this show takes place in California, so they upcharge pretty much everything.
Which is, again, just come visit Missouri, okay? Yeah. Gas is $2.89 a gallon.
That's not bad.
And it's quiet compared to where you are.
I'm out in the desert area. So it's quiet out here, but not that quiet.
He's going to be constipated. Anyway, so he shows up at her work, and it turns out he's super rich. So he wasn't just some one-off guy that, you know, she just happened to go on this date with that we're never going to see again. There was a purpose for it, especially with him being such a recognizable actor. He was the guy in the van wearing the mask. He was on a date with her asking about vibranium. Now he happens to be at her work. I think we have to go way, way back to the dusky hues of 2008, the sepia-toned world of 2008 in the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, where the leader was teased. The leader was teased, and then we never saw him again.
That is true.
Now we have Todd. I think Todd is actually the leader's brother, aka the Madman, and that the leader is either in cahoots with Titania, to get her the blood, or he is the big bad guy, and that's how they're going to reintroduce him back to the MCU.
Well, I know they're going to be introducing him as the main villain in the new movie Captain America: New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
That he's going to be the new villain for that one. So I actually agree with you on that one, because a lot of times when they just bring in characters, they don't just throw them in like, all right, here you go in, go shoot, get in there. They usually have like a soft introduction to those characters before they actually get like King the Conqueror, how they introduced him in Loki, and now he's the big villain for Quantumania. So it's just like they just little soft introductions, and then it's like, all right, now go to the big movie, now go.
Yeah. That I would really love to see that happen anyway. Like, I hope it happens. I really want it to happen. So that's one theory. You give me a dislike, fine. Yeah. I'll stand on it.
Shit. I personally, because the thing is, like, going back and forth with like soft introductions of characters, I know that in Quantumania, they're going to be introducing MODOK, and we have no idea what he's going to look like. We have like rough designs of him. For me, it's just like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's brought into She-Hulk as like before he turned into what he is now. And the comics, the big, massive
I believe that they are.
Which, that's an introduction.
I follow a scooper on Twitter that is hardly ever wrong. She's completely anonymous. We do know she's a woman, but she's completely anonymous. Her name on Twitter is My Time to Shine Hello.
Okay.
My Time to Shine Hello. And there's another one, Can We Have Toast? They're both anonymous accounts, but they seem to have the inside information on Marvel. And okay, Natalie, in order to join the live chat, it will require you to start a YouTube account, because there's no anonymous chatting. So it just has you sign in with like your Google account or something, and then you can chat. But hi, thanks for being here. I was going to check on you earlier. Anyway, remind me what I was saying, because I have the attention span of a
Twitter accounts that they have, like the inside scoop on Marvel.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm back. So, they have said that MODOK is going to be Darren Cross in the MCU. Like, Darren Cross became MODOK.
Okay.
And honey, stop texting me. I'm getting so distracted. I'm actually still on my phone right now, but we can talk about it in a second. So I can't text you back. So anyway, Darren Cross is MODOK, and they keep texting things like they'll show concept art of him and say, oh, Darren Cross is looking fucked up these days. And I think his soft entry is going to be
in She-Hulk.
In She-Hulk also. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Because I know they did the MODOK show for like Hulu, and that got canceled, right? Because it came out during the pandemic and everything. And I'm still hoping it's Patton Oswalt that's going to come in as MODOK, because in one of the episodes towards the end, I think it was like one of the last episodes, they did like a somewhat of a multiverse version of it, like multiverse episode, where they did show Patton Oswalt as MODOK in live action for like a brief second. And I was like, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of like, I want him to come in as Patton Oswalt as MODOK.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's going to come in as a soft introduction to She-Hulk, then that's awesome. So,
I hope it's Patton Oswalt for your sake.
Yeah.
And for Patton Oswalt's sake. That would be like...
I mean, the guy gone through so much, if you know this at all, do you?
Yeah. A little bit.
For anyone in the chat that doesn't know, his wife was like kind of like a true crime like buff. Like she loved it so much. She's actually one of many people that solved the Golden State Killer case. That came, basically he was arrested a while back, and she died of from prescription pills that she was taking, and he took some time off to take care of his daughter that they had. I think she was like at 6 or 7 years old at the time.
Oh my goodness.
And he's been slowly kind of coming back into acting. Like right now he has a Netflix special coming out, I think next week, I believe. So, I mean, I'm ecstatic, and I'm happy that he's slowly kind of getting back into the pace of everything, of back to his career and everything. And, you know, it's kind of like Brendan Fraser, where he was gone for a while and then comes back, and he's just once again beloved by everybody.
So bad. Guys. Just say hi, Titus.
I want some more cheese.
Before we move on to our next predictions, let me take this off real quick, and our nerdy news. Let's go ahead and take a moment to hear a word from our sponsors. I want to tell you about the channel's new sponsor, Herbal Hannah Wellness. This is one of my favorite new companies. It is absolutely my favorite new soap. You guys know me. I like things natural. I don't like a lot of chemicals. In my salon, in my home, on my face, I don't like a lot of chemicals. Okay, in my face, that might be a little bit of a lie. But in my cleansers, I don't like a lot of stuff mucking it up. So if you're like me, you have sensitive skin, you want to be cleansed without your natural oils and beauty stripped away, then please check out herbalhannah.com. You will not be disappointed. All of the wellness products at herbalhannah.com have been formulated by an actual chemist. Yes, Hannah is a chemist and an herbalist. So, she knows what she's doing, okay? It's not crap. It's really good. They have deodorant, essential oils, soaps, you name it. And some of them are in some pretty fun and crazy shapes. Anyway, check out Herbal Hannah Wellness on all the socials, herbalhannah.com, and tell them that Danny said, hey. Why did I played twice? That was wild.
Really, twice? Huh.
There we go. We got our nerd music, our nerdy news music going, and there's hair in my face. It's like a fan going. It could just not stick to my face. That would be great. Okay. So, you got any nerdy news you want to share?
Other than I saw that you posted up on your TikTok about Brendan Fraser, so your theory of him getting an Oscar.
Oh, yeah. So I have a theory. My Oscars prediction is that Brendan Fraser is going to win Best Actor for his role in The Whale, and then all of a sudden he's going to be the new it guy, it man, or whatever they call it.
He does. He deserves it, to be honest.
Yeah,
after everything he's
Hollywood,
gone through.
and he'll be completely redeemed as the comeback kid. So
not necessarily comeback king. He just got blacklisted because of one individual.
Yeah.
So
yeah. He had a rough go. I felt really bad for him. His ex-wife took all his money, and just terrible. Just terrible.
But nerdy news on
that Oscar. I see it happening.
I did too, actually, because I was when I saw it this morning, I was just like, I agree. But what was it? There was something that I saw recently that I think Disney. There was supposed to be a new Star Wars film that they were going to announce, and they canceled it. I just don't remember the name of it. It was this big film that they were going to come out with.
They said back during D23 that there's not going to be a Star Wars film until at least 2027.
Wow.
Yeah,
so it could have been something that they were going to release, but then they're just like, nah, let's just push it. Back.
Solo 2. Yeah, they're not doing a Solo 2.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's not happening. And I do like that movie, and I like it even more because a very dear friend of mine is in it. He plays Quay Tolsite. He's the one who ran the Kessel mine that Emilia Clarke stabbed.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm just choking on my own spit over here. Don't mind me. But yeah, there's not going to be any actual Star Wars films for quite some time, and the community is pissed. I mean, I'm glad we're getting content on Disney Plus, but there's just no comparison to the cinematic experience. It feels so much more like an event, you know, because especially these days, you can't afford to take your whole family to the frickin' movies on every night. I mean, that's impossible. When I was a kid, you went to the movies, it was a big deal. Like, what? Going to the movies? That's awesome. Yeah. Nowadays, it's so freaking expensive. I mean, it's going to cost you $50 just for one of you to get in and get food.
That's why I go to the movies by myself. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to go by myself.
Well, when it's a season where there's going to be a lot of, or at least 2 or 3, 4 movies that I'm really going to want to see in the theater, I subscribe to AMC A-List. I pay $20 a month, and with that, I get free movie tickets every week and discounted tickets on top of that, and discounted food, and so it makes it a little cheaper for me. But there's something to be said about the cinematic experience, and that's what Star Wars has been a big part of, that it's been a part in creating, is that epic sci-fi cinematic experience. And that's how most of us fell in love with it. And to take that away after you just gave us these 3 shit-filled movies, like, you just basically pissed on my childhood and told me to pay for it. But okay. And now you're saying you're not going to do any of those for some time. Look, I don't want to be 70 years old before I get another good Star Wars movie, okay?
Yeah.
But I am excited for Andor, which comes out in a couple days. Very excited to see Andor. I have really good feelings about that. I've heard really good things. My my source, my Disney / Star Wars source, who actually, works for them, says it's good. It's good. It's really good. People are going to like it. It's very Rogue One. And Rogue One, in my opinion, and the opinion of several other big Star Wars fans, is that Rogue One is the only good Star Wars movie since Return of the Jedi. So, hopefully that'll satiate us, because Book of Boba Fett was a letdown. Obi-Wan Kenobi could have been better.
Obi-Wan Kenobi could have been easily like a short movie, because I think there was a person online that broke it down into a film, and it's just like down to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, you could just release this into theaters.
They made him take it down. They came after his ass. Yeah, I wanted to watch it.
I think someone saved it on a Google Drive, and they gave out like the password to it, like the password, the link to get to their Google Drive to watch it. Because I was gonna sit down and watch it, but
that would be awesome. That would be so awesome.
To be honest, I have never ever seen a Star Wars film in theaters. A lot of my experience has been at home this entire time.
Yeah.
And because the thing is, like you said, the letdown for the 3 were that the major 3 movies that they came out with, that was a letdown. But it's just like at the same time, like I said in like the last stream last week, was that I have to rewatch Rogue One again, because at first I didn't like it, but then with the new show coming out, The only reason why I didn't like it was because it was just like confusing to me. Because I was like, okay, I don't get. I need more content. So if let me watch a couple episodes of this series that's coming out, and then jump onto Rogue One again, maybe my point of view would change. I guess the only reason why I watched Rogue One was for Mads Mikkelsen, and even then, his role was so small.
But it had so much impact.
It did.
Like his character, I mean, is behind everything that happened in the original trilogy and beyond, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And he played it very well. I love his performance. Rogue One, it felt more Star Wars to me. And I saw the prequels in theaters. Apparently I saw I saw Return of the Jedi in the theater, but I don't remember it. I was 3. But man, to just kind of say, okay, well, we're just doing TV now after Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and everyone's like, the fuck you say?
Well, I know that they're having issues with the executive for the Lucasfilm. I forgot her name completely, but I know they're having
Kathleen
issues with
Kennedy.
her. Yes. That they're having issues with her, that she's like, I mean, obviously you have the executive who has the final say on everything, but it's like every idea they come up with, she's like, no, okay, let's do it like this. And it's just kind of like.
And from what I've heard from my Disney Lucasfilm source, is that that's what she's being directed to do. She is being told, take this course and this course only. In fact, whenever I start bitching about her to this person, they're like, now she has a boss. She has to do what she is told. I would be like, then fuck it, I quit. You paid me enough money to not have to work for the rest of my life anyway, so what the fuck do I care? You're trying to make me do something that I think is horrible and will ruin a beloved thing.
Series franchise.
Watch me go. There's so many other companies that will love to have me with all of my integrity intact. But she didn't do that. But again, I'm being told by this person that this is what she's being directed to do. So,
well, I mean, it's just going to have to go back to the one person that literally has been holding like the Star Wars franchise on his back, which is Pedro Pascal with The Mandalorian.
Yes, Prince Oberyn, we salute you.
Yeah. Because I mean, that guy has to start building because his back has to be messed up. Just carrying the entire franchise.
I need to give him a massage.
Yes. Because
front and back.
I mean, I can tell you where he goes and visits. He goes to Florida quite frequently. He's on the East Coast a lot. So.
Well, I'm not on any coast, so that'll take me a minute. Also, in nerdy news, and by the way, Kathy, Saints of Newark, excellent movie. I've watched it like 4 times. James Gandolfini's son was perfect. He looked just like him. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. But back to nerdy news. Don Cheadle's contract has expired with Marvel Studios.
Uh-oh.
It has expired, which...
Oh, back to that.
Leads me to my next theory. My executive producer hat is on. My psychic hat. So his contract has expired. We have Secret Invasion and Armor Wars coming out.
Armor Wars.
And he's in both. In the Secret Invasion comics. In Armor Wars. In Armor Wars, it was, all these bad guys trying to steal Tony Stark's technology. His arc reactor stuff. Well, Tony's dead in the MCU, so it's not them stealing from him. And then in Secret Invasion, several of the Avengers and superheroes were discovered to, in fact, be Skrulls. Elektra, Hank Pym, even Tony, for a while, thought he was a sleeper agent, that he had been hypnotized into believing he was human Like, it was that bad. It was a really crazy, fucked up time. So, since they take inspiration, to adapt these comics, someone we know and love has to be a Skrull. Enter my theory.
Mm-hmm.
1, Don Cheadle's contract has expired, and the man's in his 50s. God bless him, okay? I'm 42 years old, and tying my shoes, I have to stretch for, okay? I'm telling you, he's getting tired.
Yeah.
And his contract's up. 2, in Secret Invasion, or in Armor Wars, in Secret Invasion, we have 2 factions of Skrulls. We've got one faction that really wants payback for what the Kree did to them for so long.
Yeah.
And the other faction is like, dude, let's move on. Let's live our lives. We're here on Earth. We're cool. We got a place to live. Let's just live our lives. And this other group is like, fuck that. No. So they're fighting over it. Well, Armor Wars, okay, this is where I think it's going. Armor Wars is these Skrulls want this tech so they can get their revenge on the Kree. They want the arc reactor stuff that Howard Stark and Anton Vankoff created. Okay? I think, because they keep showing this one scene in Secret Invasion where Don Cheadle is walking down a set of stairs with other armed guards around him, or other men around him. But we only ever see him. And he's going to be in Armor Wars, and his contract is up. No. I think they're going to say that Rhodey is a Skrull, and that he has been because the actual War Machine, Rhodey, died in Civil War when Vision accidentally knocked him out of the sky and he broke his back.
I was about to say something like that, because in that trailer you see him going down the stairs, and I remember Tony made him like this harness to move his legs,
and he's
not wearing it.
I'm sorry, but he fell really freaking far in that machine and severed his spine.
Yeah.
There is nothing you can do about that. He should have died. And there is no cure for death unless you're Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah.
Or Mephisto. So I think they're going to say, Big Pop Feige is going to say, he's been dead this whole time. He was replaced with a Skrull.
That's what I'm thinking. What's happening. Because after I saw that trailer, when we did the D23 on my channel on that Saturday, I went back to watch it again a couple more times, and I'm like, where the hell is his leg assistant? Like, he's just walking down the stairs freely. And I'm just like, I'm just like, he has to.
Him a couple years later, and he's perfectly fine. He just has to wear these splints. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah, so
that's not possible.
I just sat there just like, yeah, he has to. And I'm like, because when you said it, I was like, I don't think so. Because then I just thought about it more, and I was just like, yo, she's right. I actually agree with this theory. It actually makes a lot of sense. Because, thinking about it, that fall would have killed anybody, if not paralyzed them to the point where they can't get out of bed.
Yep.
But,
exactly.
And I also, with Tony dead, I mean, Tony didn't have time to make other tech to basically give him more mobility. He gave him those splints to help him walk around for a little bit. Once he died, it's just like, okay, well, I'm not using this. I'm just going to walk freely now and just have everyone just assume that. Are you
telling me that Shuri in Wakanda made up some magical vibranium shot?
Yeah.
In your spine, like, here you go. I mean, if so, I would like that.
Yeah.
May I have that, please?
But... No, that makes a lot of sense. I can't wait for this to come. Is it next year that comes out?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, my last theory for the night, and this does involve She-Hulk, so we can be done with the nerdy.
I got one that I want to throw in real quick too.
Okay,
actually not a theory, just one like a little nerdy news. So we didn't get to cover this at all because there was a lot that unpacked on D23 on Saturday. September 10th. And they did give out more information about the plot for Black Panther. And the plot basically is that everyone now, since T'Challa's dead, everyone is fighting for the vibranium that's in Wakanda. So I was just kind of like, okay, so, that makes more sense, because now you understand why the queen was like, I gave you everything. What more do you want from me? Her basically like fighting. I originally thought it was like, she lost her family, her husband, her son. Now we understand that it's just like, okay, since she took more leadership, people are coming after the vibranium. And I mean, you see a point where you have like these military guards kind of like holding people at gunpoint. You remember that part in the trailer?
Yeah.
Like, I sat there and I was just thinking, I don't think this is just about like T'Challa's death that everyone's now going after Wakanda. It's the vibranium that everybody wants, which the only person I can think of that has vibranium is Wolverine. And that kind of bleeds in with the whole... No?
He has adamantium.
Sorry, I got it wrong. Thank you, though. I was just like, that when it came out, it didn't sound right either. I was just like, no, it doesn't sound right.
Registered super nerd.
It's pop culture.
Yeah, that, and I'm sorry, but the dude they got to play Namor is so hot.
Representation all the way. Oh,
I'm sorry. So I don't give a shit. I just think he's hot.
I'm just, I can't, because just every movie I go to, I'm just like, damn, I'm supposed to be rooting for the hero, not the villain. Namor comes on, it's just like, fuck, another one.
What can you do with those winged feet? Like, what can you fly? No, I'm pretty excited for Black Panther, and I'm really bummed that we're both so far away from each other and we can't go together.
I know.
Maybe we'll take our phones and we'll just FaceTime.
We'll just sit there at the same time. Just, I gotta buy my ticket. Once they put it out, I have to buy it.
I guess I gotta restart my AMC shit. Anyway, okay.
She-Hulk.
All right. So, in She-Hulk, we see that Hulk he's flying off in the Sicarian courier ship. And I've heard rumblings that, the reason why this whole time we have not gotten a solo Hulk movie is because Universal held the distribution rights to the Incredible Hulk. So Marvel couldn't really make a movie because they would have to give Universal all the money, basically. So they didn't. They just used him as cameos and stuff. Which, okay, that's cool.
Supporting characters.
Right. Supporting character all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard recently that the rights reverted back to Marvel rather recently. So we are getting a World War Hulk movie. We're getting a solo film, World War Hulk. And that's what that scene was setting up. And they kind of hinted to that in the first episode because we see his gladiator helmet from Sakaar there. They made sure that we saw that. And then they put a lot of importance on this Sicarian courier ship in World War Hulk. He goes back to Sakaar and he ends up becoming the ruler, gets married, gets her pregnant, and then someone tries to kill him and blows up his ship. It kills his wife, but not his unborn son because of his gamma blood he got from his father. The baby survived it and he grew at a rapid rate. And I know very well that time on Sakaar is different than it is on Earth. It moves much faster. So we also know that they are setting up the Young Avengers for the MCU. That's why we've got Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Yelena Belova. They've cast Iron Lad. What else
Speed, the Wiccan and
Wiccan.
Yeah.
And Stature. Stature.
Okay.
Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie.
Yes.
So they've set all these up. All we're really missing is Iron Lad, and Hulkling. Iron Lad, they have cast.
Mhm.
It's going to be, as we kind of expected, he's going to be like young Tony Stark. Iron Lad was actually young Nathaniel Richards, who is Kang the Conqueror,
Mhm.
but they've made it young Tony Stark. Whatevs.
All I picture is this kid with like the facial hair of Tony Stark.
You know, he's a cute kid.
He is.
The only thing we're missing is Hulkling, who is Wiccan's beloved. Hulkling in the comics is a Skrull prince. He is a Skrull prince. They call him Hulkling because he's green, because Skrulls are green.
Yeah.
Well, MCU likes to change things, and I think they're going to do a mashup. I think they are going to do the World War Hulk movie, and they are going to introduce the Hulk's son, Scar. But instead of Hulkling being a Skull Prince in the Young Avengers, I think the MCU's Hulkling is going to be Bruce Banner / the Hulk's son, Scar. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
And that comes off.
Cute.
But I think that's how they're going to work that, because everyone has been wanting this World War Hulk movie, and they also need to round out their Young Avengers. So there we go.
I mean, the possibilities are endless, to be honest. Like, I mean, we're wrapping up phase 4, right? Going into phase 5.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like with them making all these different announcements, I wouldn't pass it by you to if they're gonna bring in young Hulkling, like in Hulk. What was it? War of Hulk?
World War Hulk. Yep.
War
His name is Scar. Skar.
That's why I buy my tickets online. Like if this is a movie, I hope it's a movie, to be honest. Because if they do a show, it's just like, oh,
yeah, they're gonna.
This is why I buy my tickets, because War Hulk. It's just like a tongue twister for me. So I'm just like, let me just War Hulk.
You know what? You know what else is a tongue twister for me? Herbal Hannah.
Herbal Hannah.
It's so hard for me to say that, because in the States we say herbal. We don't say
herbal.
PH. I always think of Eddie Izzard in Dress to Kill. He's like, yes, we say herb. Because there's a fucking H in it. But it ties my tongue up all the time because I want to say herbal. But you're supposed to say the H because of Hannah, so it's Herbal Hannah. Herbalhannah.com are sponsors for comics and cosmetics. So go check them out at Herbal Hannah Wellness on all the socials and herbalhannah.com.
I gotta buy stuff from them because their profile popped up and I kept going through like their list and I was like, I gotta order from them very soon.
I have a new order coming from them this week.
Jeez.
Everyone's very happy. This is Subfloor, by the way. This is actually eventually going to be our master bath.
Oh. So
it's unfinished and there's a bunch of crap everywhere. So for the meantime, it is my studio. But yeah, Herbal Hannah, I've got a bunch of stuff coming from them this week. My salon is now retailing them.
Ooh.
So if you would like to buy Herbal Hannah and you, for some weird ass reason, don't want to just go straight to the source and go to herbalhannah.com, you can also go to salonmia2020.com and buy some from me. But I do recommend you go straight to them because chances are I'm going to charge the fuck out of you for shipping because I'm tired and I don't want to go to the damn post office. So check out herbalhannah.com. But I do have some of their Chili Willy Bath Fizzies coming, and lip balm and deodorant, and I got a couple boxes of their One of Everything. So that's coming too. So
I just saw the box right now. I'm like quickly looking while you're talking. I'm like, let me check it out real quick.
Good.
They got merch too, so I was like, ooh.
Oh, I also have their Chili Willy oil coming, and I'm going to be soaking. I have a hot towel cabinet for my male clients. I give them a hot towel treatment while I shampoo their hair. You can tell I'm a hairstylist because I'm like, hello. But I soak the towels, Vogue it.
Focus. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
We did a
But
hot
I
treat.
soak our hot towels in, tea tree and peppermints and stuff
Mm.
like that. Well, they have a proprietary blend called Chili Willy, and it's good for you, and it's really moisturizing for the skin. So I ordered some of that, and we will be soaking our hot towels in that. So very excited to try that out.
Ooh, diffuser.
But now
Ooh, I have to look at that. I have to order because shit.
yeah,
Damn.
you do. They're awesome. And I'm telling you, I haven't put lotion on in like 2 days, and I have eczema.
Uh-huh.
And I've been using their Triple B, their basic bitch batch. It's because it's pumpkin spice. I told her, I was like, oh, that's great, because I'm like half basic bitch. That's wonderful. I'm like 50% basic bitch. So I've been using that, and my skin feels so soft. It's legit, and I smell amazing. Like I got out of the shower. I'm like, oh my god, someone come smell me.
It just brought it out.
I almost texted you and said, dude, I smell so good right now. I just wanted you to know. Like, it smells so good.
I have to.
God. All right, we got to talk House of the Dragon real quick. And while I'm talking House of the Dragon, if you would like to support the channel, please do, because this takes a lot of time, and time is money.
Yep.
And I just bought super expensive makeup brushes by Delium Tools, deliumtools.com, the Rolls Royce of brushes, as I call them. They're amazing, trust me. If you want to see what I'm talking about, please check out the video I just uploaded yesterday. It's my unboxing and review of Delium professional makeup brushes. But in order for me to afford those, it's thanks to patrons like maybe you. Mm-hmm. We have 3 different tiers. The lowest tier is $3 a month, but I don't even like saying it's the lowest tier, because honestly, you guys are the backbone of my Patreon society. Without you guys, I don't know where I would be. But all tiers get merch. All tiers have access to specific behind the scenes tutorials, sneak peeks, extra, shots of the looks. I also leave all product lists for how I create my looks in each and every one of my videos. There is a product list uploaded to the Patreon the day that the video posts. So if you're ever curious on what I use to create some of the nerdy looks I do while I'm talking about your favorite nerdy topics, then please go to patreon.com/comicsandcosmetics and sign up for at least the #nerdling tier. That is $3 a month, and you get access to all of that. Now, if you're feeling generous and saucy, our top tier is $25. It is #super sexy nerdling tier, and you get a hoodie, a t-shirt, you get tutorials, and you get private chats with me, but not that kind of chats. This isn't an OnlyFans. Get your mind out of the gutter. But another benefit for our patrons, you get to pick what videos I do. So if there's a video that you'd like me to do, a character, a storyline, a book, a movie, a TV show that you would like me to break down for you, join my Patreon and drop it in the suggestion box. You can also buy merch from our merch store at TeePublic. You can get fun things like this super cool baseball shirt I'm wearing, or literally anything else you could possibly want with my logo on it. It's there. Just look. But thank you for everyone who does support the channel. I super appreciate it. Thank you for my Delium brushes. I will show them to you in every video. I promise. They're awesome. But thank you again. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. But House of the Dragon.
House of Dragon.
Let me tell you something. I was a bit. Oh my God, he left.
Oh.
The Ewok baby left.
He's like, I'm done. No more cheese.
An hour and 15 minutes was his limit. So House of the Dragon. I was a big Game of Thrones fan. I actually have right here my Hand of the King badge. I've had that for like 10 years. Big Game of Thrones fan. I've read the books. I read Fire and Blood, which part of that book is what this show is based on. He's back. Come on, babe. Come on. There he is. You can't quit me, can you? They have strayed a little bit from the book, which they sometimes
Happens all
do.
the time.
They sometimes do. But this last episode, Daemon takes his niece, Rhaenyra. Now, the Targaryens intermarried like Egyptians. So, because they were dragon riders and they wanted more dragon riders. So, they were like,
they
hey,
want to keep it in the family, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you coming for this or what? This is the good stuff. There you go.
I mean, my basic knowledge of Game of Thrones is like scattered episodes from the series, like the main series. And I think the last episode I watched was I was walking around when this is when I was with my parents. I walked into the room. My dad was watching one of the episodes where this is my introduction to Pedro Pascal. I was like, oh, he's a good looking actor. And then crush. All right, I'm done. I'm walking out. I can't deal with this right now. That was like the last episode I watched. And I think I also watched when Joffrey dies.
Oh.
And when the castle blows up and everything, that there's like I said, it's scattered. But I told you right before we jumped on, which I told you, I don't mind you spoiling it for me. I just got to find somewhere to watch this.
Well, in this episode, Daemon Targaryen comes back. And look, I really love this highlighter I got from BoxyCharm, but it stays sticky and my hair keeps sticking to it. And then it gets in my eye and it's just driving me crazy. I might yank my hair back because of the love of God. So her uncle Daemon comes back and they have this attachment, this connection to one another. Spoiler alert, if you don't want spoilers for what could possibly happen in House of the Dragon, which the initials just happen to spell out Hot D. If you don't want spoilers, stop now. But hey, you hit like first. You hit like and you hit subscribe and ring the bell, and then you can go.
Yeah, just hit like on the button, and then when you watch the episode, come back to this part.
Then come back. We're at 1 hour and 18 minutes.
There you go.
Anyway, so he comes back, and in the books, Rhaenyra and Daemon are married. They get married.
Okay.
So there is an attraction. There is a connection. They're very close. He gave her this Valyrian steel necklace.
Okay.
So he comes back and she's all like, oh, I have to get married to a lord and then I'll be trapped in a castle pushing out babies for the rest of my life. It's not the life I want. Kind of rubbing it in her stepmother's face / BFF. Or it was her best friend. They're the same age. And then her father married her.
Oh.
So medieval. So Daemon actually... solemnly swear I'm up to no goodser, gives her a map and some clothes, peasant clothes, and they go for a night on the town. They go bar hopping and they go to a show, and then he takes her to a brothel. Brothel. That sounds great. Like they walk to the back of this thing and oh my god, I had it right there and then I just totally lost it, and that kind of sucks. Here we go. So he takes her to this brothel and they walk to the back and there's at least 40 people getting it on.
Okay.
So they start talking and they get closer and he starts telling her, he said, doing it is actually fun for both people, not just the dude. A lot of women rather enjoy it. And she's like, oh, you don't say. Okay. And they start making out and, yanks her drawers off and they're going to it looks like they are, but then you realize he's lost his whatever nerve and takes off and just leaves her there in this brothel in the bad part of town.
Nice.
So she goes back home and finds Sir Christian Cole, who is super hot, Kingsguard that's guarding her, and yanks off his armor and takes care of business. Well, my first thought while watching all of this, because throughout all of this, they're showing, all these people in the brothel getting it on. They're showing Damon and Rhaenyra. And then they show Rhaenyra and Sir Criston Cole. And then they show Rhaenyra's scabby, crusty dad boning her BFF in bed. And she's laying there like, is it over yet? Miserable. And let me tell you something. From the looks of it, I can understand why. Listen, just doing this and only this over and over again helps no one.
Nope.
It helps no one. So they show all of that. And it's like 3/4 of the episode. And Dave just goes, FF, as in fast forward. Like, FF. Well, all I could think of in the back of my head was the showrunners or the executives, the network executives telling the showrunners, I want this hornier than Game of Thrones. And they're like Littlefinger's brothel? I said hornier than Game of Thrones. Like Oberyn in one of the brothels? Hornier! And they're like, I got you.
This is on HBO. Come on.
Oh my God. It was like, okay.
Damn.
Do we need more of that? Where's the mystery? Could we allude to it? What happened to the brown chicken? And just fade to black.
Yeah.
Gun in the holster. Fade to black. Just, it was a lot. But from all accounts, the episode tonight is supposed to be pretty cray-cray. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm genuinely loving House of the Dragon. I am a big Doctor Who fan, and Matt Smith happens to be my favorite Doctor. Number 2 is David Tennant. So the whole time I'm like, he's going to play Daemon Targaryen. Like, Daemon's supposed to be this world-renowned badass and philanderer and womanizer and smoking hot. I just don't see Matt Smith as that. No. I really should have pulled up that scene from Morbius where he's like,
oh, the fucking dance, just
that would have been
that whole scene. I'm gonna I didn't get the chance to say it. It just reminded me of just a Doctor Who episode. That's it, of him just dancing around.
Tiny, do it, act it out, act out the scene from Morbius for us. Come on, you can do it. Here, look. All right, now I need you to act it. There you go. That's exactly what it looked like. Oh my God, I'm going to be a bajillionaire with this job. That was a great Matt Smith impression. Anyway, my point is, I really thought I was going to be, stuck.
This highlighter.
Yeah, my hair. I really thought it was going to take me out of the story. But freaking episode 3, you just have to see it for yourself. He basically takes out an entire army by himself. And he's just a total badass. Like, he goes all John Wick. And I was like, oh,
is that the first side of the Doctor?
Who? Doctor Who? That's Daemon Targaryen, baby.
Nice.
So I'm really loving it. I'm really surprised. I feel like poor Matt Smith just had his hat handed to him with the Morbius bullshit. He's like, look, I got to do something.
Like, you can, like, I mean, after he did like Doctor Who, I had to jump back in on The Crown. He did The Crown. He did really good as Philip.
He was also in Terminator.
Yeah, that's
Genesis.
Yeah. But like Morbius was just like I feel like he just went on set, got paid, and then did what they asked him to do, and then he just like, all right, I'm gone, bye.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. But the thing is with that is just like, I mean, like we talk about this all the time. Like my favorite Doctor, ironically, is David Tennant. Then it's Matt Smith. Then it's Christopher Eccleston,
Yeah.
which all three of them have already been in Marvel properties,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that. But it's just like that whole scene with him as like and Mobius just calling out to Dr. Mobius, just reminded me of Jessica Jones. Of how David Tennant was just like
Yes, it was
Jessica, but like very
Kilgrave.
faintly. But when I saw that he was going to be in House of Dragon, I was just kind of like, okay, so I guess he's going to have to dye his hair blonde because all of them have like light hair, light hair and everything. And I'm just like, I got to find a way to watch this.
This is the first time that we have seen Matt Smith with any kind of different hair. In fact, I have postulated that Matt Smith has it in his contract, no matter what he acts, that no, you keep my hair and I do it myself. I will style it myself. I've seen him do it. Like he knows exactly how to get that brush and the blow dryer going. He knows what he's doing. So I really would not be surprised if he has a clause in his contract that says he and only he styles his
hair, or it has to be styled the way he wants it.
Yeah. So this was the first time I've ever seen him with any other kind of hair. But you notice they didn't really have to do anything to his eyebrows. Poor guy does not have any.
He does. That's the thing is that it's just like Mads Mikkelsen. They have very like strong like eyebrow, like brow bones.
Yeah.
And their eyebrows are just very light. That's kind of where I kind of sit there and find Matt Smith's eyebrows, because that's what I did throughout Crown. I was like, where's his eyebrows? It's so weird because you're so used to seeing people with eyebrows.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's talented. So I'm just like, I like Matt Smith. I gotta sit down and watch House of Dragon. I gotta find a link or someone that can give me their HBO account to let me watch it. I gotta find a way to watch it.
He's doing great. I might be able to help you. Okay. We'll see when I can figure out. But he's doing great. Let me tell you. But I'm really enjoying House of the Dragon, and I mean, it's one of those roles that he may possibly become better known, at least in the United States, for Daemon Targaryen, the Doctor Who, and that is a feat.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, especially like in America and like the Americas and the States, sorry, the Americas, in the States, for instance, like Benedict Cumberbatch, like I know him for Sherlock Holmes from the TV series Sherlock. I know him for that role, but then he's also now known in the States as, oh yeah, he's not Sherlock, he's Doctor Strange, and it's just like. But my introduction was a lot different from your guys's. And my introduction to Matt Smith was because of the Doctor, because I had an individual in my life that, one, used to cosplay as Matt Smith for a long time. Yeah. And then two, introduced me to Doctor Who and showed me all the episodes, because when he cosplayed the Doctor, I cosplayed River Song. So we were basically, that's how my introduction was. I will always see him as the Doctor. No matter what. I mean, the same thing with Christopher Eccleston was like, he was in so many other films. He was in Dark Worlds, which was like a really flop movie that flopped for the Thor series. But once again, it's just like, I'm going to know him as the Doctor. That's my first introduction to him.
He'll always be in my heart as the Doctor.
Yeah. Sucks. I mean, he did one season,
but he'll be in my ladies. As Damon.
You're chewing, and then it's just like, hold on. Let me just slide in here.
Clarify. Yeah. There's love and there's lust. Oh my goodness. Oh. Well, that's pretty much all I got today for all our stuff we got going on. I'm enjoying She-Hulk for what it is. Let me put it that way. I'm enjoying She-Hulk for what it is. I'm definitely enjoying House of the Dragon despite what it is. And news-wise, disappointed with D23. Disappointed with Hall H. This is, I mean, just a couple years ago, they were just throwing stuff at us left and right. We're like, oh, yay. Thank you. Oh my God. And now we're like, part of me thinks it's because of YouTubers like us. You know, we're pulling stuff apart all the time and we're getting good and guessing what they're actually doing. And the only way they can subvert expectations is just to not tell us what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But parts of me are also like, well, they've got that whole VFX artist issue and all kinds of other stuff going on behind the scenes, people out of their contracts, and, you know, the last several movies and properties not really doing that well. So maybe they've got some restructuring and replanning that they have to do. So they backburned a lot of things. Oh, I have heard that one of the reasons why Aquaman, Shazam, Black Adam, and The Flash all got pushed back. I hear you. Planet Earth hears you. Okay? Are you going to start barking next? I think you should be a little bit more polite when asking for your cheese. Thank you. Thank you. Brought to you by Titania. They've pushed all that back because Ezra Miller's not coming back as the Flash.
Oh, God, I hope
He
not.
gets this Flash movie, and that's it. So I think they're killing Billy. Hold on. I didn't have my executive producer hat on.
Well, I mean, nobody from Warner Bros. Wears hats, so.
Yeah. So I think that they are killing off Barry Allen in the DCEU. Rude. And they're going to bring in possibly Wally West or even Jay Garrick to explain Ezra Miller's absence, but he will not be back. So I think the reason why they've pushed all these films, I know.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing for Aquaman too, as well.
Yeah, they've had to restructure, you know, remove some scenes and refilm them to kind of fit the narrative that Barry Allen dies in The Flash, and then we're done with Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord Jesus, because that dude needs some help.
He needs help, because the thing is, like, I've just recently watched Justice League.
Yeah.
And he did really good as the Flash. Like, he did really, really well. But then, like, after all this controversy that came up behind him, and I always make jokes, like, anybody that works with Warner Brothers in the DC universe, they end up going like crazy. You know, with him, it's just like, yeah, he had his own standalone film, and then all of a sudden he just went on this whole rampage and kidnapping little girls and grooming them and everything, and then comes out with an apology, and it's just like,
yeah,
no, like,
they had
you'll get your film, but you're getting killed off because we're going to do a whole restructure with the whole DC universe, which is that 10-year plan they have.
They had a meeting with him, and they said, here are your choices. And he went with apology, as flat as it was. He went with apology, but then they're like, look, we've already had enough on our plate with this Amber Turd bullshit.
And even with her,
I don't think we can risk. I don't think we can risk any more of this crap. So
we can. We gotta get rid of you, man.
I really need a bigger trash can in here.
I mean, like the Amber AH thing. Her character. I mean, I think I mentioned this a while back in one of your streams that they're writing her character off as dying in childbirth. So it's just kind of like,
you know, Arthur just needs to be free. He is a wild flounder, and he needs to roam the 7 seas and get to know his fish self before he settles down with someone with redder hair than Ariel. So I'm sorry. I feel like Mira's hair is too. This is supposed to be live action, okay?
Yeah.
If I want a cartoon, I'll watch a damn cartoon.
Yeah.
So 1, Mira's hair is too cartoony, and 2, I feel Ariel's hair wasn't cartoony enough. If that makes sense.
The live action Ariel.
Yeah. Like,
I have some theories about that one that I will try to like drop a little bit after when I say something about it. No, I agree with you on that. But with the Ariel hair, I had this TikToker, not have, I follow this TikToker that he made an excellent point
Mm-hmm.
about why it looks so dim and everything. How it looks like all, because in the
It
cartoon, you
shouldn't
see
have
it's all
sunlight.
bright and vivid and everything, right? All happy
Mhm.
colors. And then you see this live action one where the colors are very dim and very dark and all that. He says, what if this is her point of view of how she sees the world underneath the water? How it's like she's bored of everything because it's the same thing every single day. So that spark is starting to dissipate for her. So everything is all dark and everything. Obviously, yes, we have the FX team that is like going through a whole strike. And not strike, but I'm hoping they're not going to strike, but they're overworked. So it's just like I mentioned in one of my videos that they can do the hair for Ariel a little smidge, a little bit like brighter, a little bit. But then when you mentioned that, I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because you can imagine when she goes on land,
Right.
it's all colorful, it's all bright, it's all happy, it's different. You know, it's like taking
Grass
off the
is greener on the
sunglasses.
other side.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I'm sitting here. I'm like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
I was
You
going
know,
kind of scientific with it, that because she's under the water, she doesn't get a lot of sunlight. So she's not going to be very brightly colored because creatures that live deep under the sea don't have bright colors.
Yeah.
But if you want to get like truly scientific with it, she should be like gray and have dreads. If she even has keratin filled hair, it would be extremely dreaded and filled with seaweed and
well, I mean, if you look at the design of how it is, like the hair, it is in somewhat of dreads, but it's locks.
Yeah.
And I'm like hoping the hair is not as long as, because you got to remember in the Little Mermaid, Ariel wears that bright ass pink dress, that Petmo Bismol pink dress, that the hair and the dress clashed completely. I'm like, you have to have the hair, like the hair where it's at is good, just a little bit more brighter. Because I feel like when she gets out of the water, it's gonna be a little bit more brighter than in what is underwater. But going back to Mira, yeah, that hair was too damn cartoony. Because just that small little scene in Justice League where she's talking to Arthur, it was just like, bro, your hair, I can see that shit from a mile. Like that is way too bright. And then I'm thinking about the Johnny Depp thing of him taking her wig and just like Aquaman. But I'm just hoping, because I've been hearing like things and I don't want to believe it, that they casted someone new to play Mira, which is the actress that he worked with on Game of Thrones.
Emilia Clarke.
Yes.
Yay!
They're saying that she got casted for Mira, and I go, if you guys had casted her from the beginning,
yeah,
I would have been fine with it because I haven't watched Aquaman. Because ever since I saw her, Amber Heard in Rum Diary, I was bored of her the entire time. She was also in Criminal Minds.
Yeah, she's awful.
She's a horrible actress.
Mira. She's terrible. Her stupid, the way she does her voice, it's also forced and fake and.
That's kind of what not sold me to watch Aquaman, because when I was watching Justice League and their interaction, it was just kind of like, you're just doing this because you want to get paid. And then I'm starting to think about the court case of how Johnny Depp's attorney was saying that he's the one that got you this job, like the Aquaman job. And I'm like, yeah, he did actually, because you suck at acting.
Yeah, she's awful.
She is, but no, I mean, like, I know that Warner Brothers is doing a complete restructure. They have that 10-year plan. I joke around with you and CJ from CJack Production. Then I go, the mouse has to come in, just sit down, write a check, and she's like, here, just fill out how much you want. I signed it already. Just tell me how much you want. I'll buy your company and fix your damn DC, and that's it. Like, I'm just waiting for that day.
Amazing. You know, if they just called me.
Shit, call me. Sure.
I've written stuff. I'm published.
But no, for me, it's like, look, I'm enjoying She-Hulk. I'm loving it, every second of it. I mean, I've loved the representation it has. I loved it in Miss Marvel and Moon Knight and everything. I'm loving the representation. Everyone's like, oh, it's the woke culture. I'm just like, no, it's representation that should have been there from the beginning. You know, it shouldn't have been pushed to the side and bringing people that are not that, you know, from that or whatever race they are. They should, you know, with.
Well, I had a conversation with CJ. Right around the time we first met. I told him that one, I don't like when they do a lot of the gender and race swapping on for the most part.
Yeah.
And my reason being for that is that I feel it's insulting to both sides. Because one, it's saying that race or gender isn't strong enough to carry its own original character. It's not interesting enough that they don't have anything on their own to create a character that would be beloved and, you know, popular. I think that's insulting. Because two, there are so many cultures, religions, beliefs all over this world that we don't really know that much about, because we have this kind of macro view of the world. We only really see what is shown to us.
Yeah.
And you know, that's true.
It is.
We don't see it unless it is shown to us.
Yeah.
With shows, especially like the ones on Disney Plus and HBO Max, they have a unique opportunity to shine a light on some of those cultures and beliefs and peoples of the world that we would otherwise not know anything about.
Yeah.
You could very easily create a superhero based on one of these, anything. I mean, just go look out there and you'll find it. I mean, right now we're just regurgitating the same things over and over and over again. You want to know why people are tired of the MCU? You want to know why people are frustrated with Star Wars? It's not necessarily the woke culture. It's the fact that you're resorting to this woke culture because you're too lazy to go out there and get inspiration for something new and original. That's what it is. You have an entire cookie jar out there, a planet-sized cookie jar out there, to pick a culture or a people that has not gotten that spotlight before. Like, for example, Miss Marvel.
Yes.
I didn't know that much about Pakistan. I did not know that much about the Muslim religion. Wow, words are hard, kids. I didn't know that much about it. And then I watched Miss Marvel, and it wasn't crammed down my throat. It wasn't preached at me. It was a part of her life. It was part of her world building, part of her character development. And I learned so much about the people of Pakistan and the Muslim religion.
Yeah.
On top of an adorable and awesome superhero to boot. And they tied that culture in, not only just, I mean, G. Willow Wilson did a wonderful job creating this character, but they tied in her culture, her beliefs, her family, in not only with her costume, but with her origin story as well. That is how it is done. That's how you do it. That was just absolutely incredible. We need more like that.
That we do. Because I mean, I also want to add on to the why everyone's like flipping out about the MCU like changing, and because also female leads. You don't see a lot of hero movies or movies that have a strong female lead. I mean, right there, right behind you, we have Wonder Woman. She has her own movie. She has two. And it's just like you don't see a lot of female
pretend
leads.
that second one didn't happen.
I'll make the mental note of that one. We'll pretend. But like, I mean, like I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about Aliens. That was like with Ripley, with Sigourney Weaver. I keep fucking pronouncing her name wrong, but she was a strong female lead for Aliens, the whole franchise, or not the
Linda
whole
Hamilton, Terminator.
Exactly. But it's just like nobody complained because there was a male counterpart. Now with the MCU giving more light to women, having a stronger lead and a stronger role, it's just like people are getting pissed because of it. And it's just like you guys just expect, and going back to your last podcast, one of the first ones we actually, not podcast, but streams that we did, you and me and two other people, we talked about women in comics. You know, and we talked about how like people expect women to be like secondary characters, not really having a big role. Miss Marvel has a big role. She-Hulk has a big role. You know, the females from Eternals had a big role. Same thing with Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and all these different things. And it's just like, yeah, some of them had a female lead or male counterpart, but it's just like, it's about time that we have some form of representation to show women, hey, you're not just meant to be second characters. You're meant to be the main character of your damn story.
I'll see all that MCU stuff, and I always think, There are 37 MCU properties. 37.
Mhm.
5 have a female lead.
Yeah.
How the f- is this MCU? We don't even have a percent of it.
I mean, there was a TikToker that I
Chill.
watched that he even broke it down too. He's like, there's only like a couple shows and movies that is a female lead, and that's it. Everything else had like a male counterpart or a male lead, but it's just like, how is it called a or what was it called?
MCU.
MCU. Like, I don't understand. And I mean, like, yeah, phase 4 right now, everyone's like going crazy with it because of like everything's changing. It's too woke. And I'm just like, I'd rather be introduced to cultures that I never understood, like you said with Miss Marvel. I mean, I didn't get any representation until Coco and Encanto came out because I'm Hispanic. I didn't get that representation till then. And with like curly hair, my first introduction for a character to have curly hair was Merida from Brave. And then now seeing a female with curly hair, Layla, was like, holy crap, even though her role was very minor. And she did a beautiful job. So it's just kind of like, how are you calling it this
And when I hear
MCU?
people complain about, here we go, bait and switch, Layla says everything. Like, first of all, she didn't. Okay. Her wing got stuck in the damn car and she needed help yanking it out. All right. She didn't save the entire world all by her lonesome. No. That's not what happened. And 2, were a whole lot of you super attached to the Scarlet Scarab's original run? Like, it had like 1 run. It's a failed comic franchise.
And on top of that,
it didn't work. So sometimes in rare occasions, like that one, a lesser known failed comic series, it's possible to improve it by changing certain things. And in my opinion, as a lifetime comic reader, I dare say an expert in many, many avenues when it comes to comic history, I think they improved the Scarlet Scarab by making Layla her.
Because I'm going to be honest, like Moon Knight, I didn't know about Moon Knight.
Yeah, and he's a deep cut. He's a bit of a deep cut.
Yeah, I didn't know. But when I saw him and with Oscar Isaac portraying him, it was like, holy shit. So I did research on the character. There's characters that nobody knows and they act like they know, like, oh, I've known that character for years. And it's like, no, you didn't. You just found out about the character. Like Werewolf at Night. I didn't know about that one. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. And in Werewolf by Night, they're in the TVA. One of the scenes is they're in the TVA. So and I said this months ago, and I mean
back with the hat.
Months ago. I did a Moon Knight breakdown, and then I did a Midnight Suns breakdown, and I said this is coming. They are bringing Midnight Suns to the MCU. They're going to do a show or they're going to do a movie, but they're going to do something with Midnight Suns. They got Moon Knight, they've got Blade, Doctor Strange is already there. Yeah. Wong, it's coming. Well, in the Werewolf by Night trailer is Elsa Bloodstone. She is a key member to the Midnight Suns. Thank you.
Well, I mean, like I said, on the 10th of September, they have New York Comic Con where they might make some announcements. Because I mean, like going to what you say, you were disappointed with D23. I think a lot of people were just disappointed with this panel on Saturday of how they didn't really drop a lot of things. They just dropped some trailers, announcements, and that was about it. I mean, I won't be surprised if they announce the Midnight Suns because they have the game coming out, and I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out later on.
They're gonna do it.
They probably
God, it's gonna happen, and I'm super stoked about it. But we are coming up on 2 hours now.
Yes, we are.
We should probably, say our thank yous.
Wrap it up.
So, thank you to everyone in the chat who has hung out this long with us tonight. This is one of our longest streams. But hey, man, when you're having a good time and you're having a good conversation, time gets away from you. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Or I can just be Deadpool and this is your Deadpool. I'm just a merc with a mouth and I just keep talking.
Usually it's me. Usually I just, but then this and then this. I could go on for hours and hours. And I just like hanging out with you. So there's that
Likewise.
as well. I want to thank our sponsor, Herbal Hannah. Follow them on Facebook and all the socials at Herbal Hannah Wellness. You can also find them at the ticker down here. It says herbalhannah.com. Herbalhannah.com. It just trips me up every time. If you would like to be kept up to date on what's going on with the channel and basically what I'm doing during the day, it's one of two things. It's either hair or channel work. I can promise you that. Follow us on Twitter. You can either search Comics and Cosmetics, which I promise you is probably way easier than typing in my name at D_Sansasi. And it doesn't matter how many times I say it. It doesn't matter if you've just heard it and you've got it recorded, you're still going to say Sankasi, Sanchasi, Sunkasi, or Sankasi. But I promise you, it's Sansasi. Sansasi. That's my name. But that's the Twitter. Just type in Comics and Cosmetics, okay? You're not going to get it. It's weird. There's only 30 people in the whole world with the name. I'm related to all of them. Not that you needed to know that. But on top of liking and subscribing and sharing my content, if you would like to support the channel, please consider joining our Patreon family right there. You can support me for as little as $3 a month or $9 a month or $25 a month. But you do get behind the scenes, outtakes, sneak peeks, product lists on how I create my nerdy looks, and just hanging out. You can ask me questions. You can even suggest content for me to create for you. I call it the suggestion box. We also have a Discord. If you'd like that information, please check out the About section on the channel page. It is there. Join us for some fun conversations after the show. You can follow us on TikTok. Sometimes I'm not that good at it. You're basically going to find some of my theories, speculations, predictions, some behind the scenes, some little ticketa-tacketas that I make from the shows, stuff like that, nerdy news. But you can also try to buy merch, or no, you can, if you would like, please buy some merch at our TeePublic store. We have literally everything from mugs, jacuzzis, laptop cases, phone cases, pillows, wall art, stickers, t-shirts, tank tops, baby onesies, and baseball shirts and hoodies. So literally everything you could possibly want. And there will be a new logo uploaded soon that is my new logo with my cartoon face on there. So if you want something with my face on it, that would be the place to get it. I don't even own anything with my face on it, so that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I want to thank Lena again for hanging out. If you want to follow her on Twitter, it's Heyblondie Chick. And if you would like to subscribe to her channel, which I highly recommend, she is our resident pop culture nerd. Knows a lot about all those celebrities that we enjoy making fun of. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, thanks again for hanging out tonight, guys. I really appreciate it. It's been a long one, but it's been a fun one, and I've had a really good time. Next week, I'll be back talking more She-Hulk and House of the Dragon. With who? I don't know yet. But I've got someone in the works that I think you're really going to like. Until then, nerdlings, have a wizard day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.